Aloha Ukulele on the Ground. We are here with Tom Farone from Oscar Schmidt.
Always
Aloha,
good
Tom.
to see you, and aloha.
It's very nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, please tell us what Oscar Schmidt has in store for 2013.
One of the very nice parts of this interview always is that as we recap what's happened in the last 52 weeks, I want to thank everyone that's called in. It's nice to have interaction and feedback with so many of the viewers, so many questions that people asked. It's a very warm part of this interview, and again, let me thank you in that regard.
Oh, well, we thank you for listening.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I heard you had quite a year last year.
It was, again, a very interesting year, a year of a lot of fun. This is just a great little instrument. The wave continues, as we had mentioned, us being in the third wave. And so we'll milk it for all it's worth. We certainly live to play ukulele, I think. It's a big part of it. We've got 5 new instruments for 2013. And then in regard to that, there's a variety of questions that have been posed that I'd like to address. Things of string height. On my wide neck uke, I'd like to just give you some information because those are questions that have come up over and over again.
Okay.
So we'll go into it. The first new instrument that I have looks like koa, but really it's a flame mahogany.
Nice.
I think one of the keys to the Oscar Schmidt line is the affordability. This particular model is called the OU 300. It's available.
That's a pretty high number.
Yes, it is a high number, but a relatively low price. We're looking at streetwise about $129 to $149.
Ah.
It's mahogany. It's flame. A little longer neck. It has a V-shaped neck. V-shaped necks were used on a lot of guitars earlier in the last century. A V-neck, you've got a little less wood on the thumb. It's a little faster playing neck, and so we thought we'd add a little of that old world to this series of ukuleles. So
you can see it right there if you turn it back. That neck shape.
Yeah, the bias is tapered on a steeper angle. So as they say, our first new uke to be shown in this series, a real sharp-looking piece.
Cool.
I've always had the OU2. That's been the entry-level Oscar Schmidt ukulele. We now have a flame version of this same instrument, again with the V-neck,
Nice.
again with a little longer. The neck joins the body now at the 14th fret, but easily had street price under $100. So again, something very affordable and very attractive with the flame mahogany to it.
Yeah, it's got a nice finish also.
Seaver wood, another wood that's being used a lot on ukuleles. Sound is very reminiscent of a mahogany, but with a different cosmetic tone to it.
Let's hear how it sounds.
Sure.
Yeah, it's reminiscent of mahogany.
Yes. Again, same $129 street price.
Great. That's
very
great.
affordable.
That's great.
At the show, Uncle Willie Cabe performed over at the Hilton and used his 5-string model. The octave G strings really give the instrument a lot more depth to it. Uses a Fishman EQ system. It's a koa constructed instrument, nicer gold-plated Grover tuners with ebonite buttons. This is his artist model. Comes with a hard shell case, maps at around $445.
Right on. That's a nice, beautiful uke. Look at that bridge.
We used the Washburn butterfly bridge. You can see the positioning of
pins.
with the pins, yes. Well, it's an interesting instrument. definitely a unique sound, the crossover between a banjo and a ukulele, and they're really becoming an instrument of prominence. The nice part, of course, about ukuleles being very affordable. If you live to play ukulele, you will have 5 or 6 ukuleles. It's part of our vocabulary.
Banjo uke, or the
yes.
banjuke.
And indeed, this is one to add to the roster of your vocabulary and instruments to play with. Yeah. One of the topics that often comes up in conversations when people call string action. How high is string action?
Right.
How low should it be? It's really a very personable. Everyone plays differently.
Yeah, sometimes people like it high, sometimes people like it low, you know?
Right. Another thing, if you live up in Alaska and you play ukulele up there and you happen to go on vacation to Maui,
it's going to be different. Yeah, it's going to change.
These things were trees not that long ago.
They're living things at one point, yeah.
And they do move and shift. So I have brought with me a couple of different string saddles. And you can see them in the pictures below. Often players will have a variety of different heights with these. You can adjust your height, make it easier, make it harder, go with the temperature changes. I also have a picture of a shim that is a very thin piece of plastic. And you can accomplish anything that you want with a variety of different nut heights. So it's a big part of playing.
You can just put it underneath and it makes it higher.
Absolutely.
You know, so if you want to raise your action that way, you can do it that way also.
And then conversely, just pulling it out makes it lower.
Yeah.
Another question that came up so often were strings. The industry seems to love the Aquila string.
Right.
It is a great string.
Not the best string.
It's just a string. Let me encourage all of you to change your strings. You change your strings often.
Yes.
You can change them every 3 or 4 months, depending on how hard you play, how often you play, how acidic your hands are. But be familiar with changing strings. Try different string varieties.
String combinations, yes.
The next topic is my wide neck OU6W. A lot of questions. How wide is wide? We've got the 2 different instruments here. The standard width, it's about 1 3/8 inches, and then the wide nut is 1 3/4 inches. These strings are about a half. Yeah, if you've got a very big hand, this is something certainly to consider. The interval between the strings is about a 1/2 inch here and about 9/16 down at the nut. So just visually you can see that we're looking at an instrument that is, if you've got a wide hand, this is the one for you. Tonality-wise, they both sound about the same. This one's a little older, a little lighter koa.
It's just comfort, right?
A little darker. Yes, absolutely.
Comfort on the player. Well, so Tom, where do you think the ukulele is headed, and how does Oscar Schmidt fit into that goal?
I think that we ask ourselves, how as a player, how do we fit into this? Does playing ukulele bring joy into your everyday life? Does it add something? And I think honestly, for most ukulele players, we have to answer, of course it does. It's just a great addition to what we do in each and every day. It's a great addition to how we view mankind each and every day. I'm inclined to think that this is going to continue. Ukuleles will continue as a social outlet. We're really lucky to be here. 15 years ago, we didn't have this roster of ukuleles.
Of course not,
I'm sure you guys go downstairs and look, and you've got
whatever's in the basement.
10 new ukulele manufacturers this year. It's nice. Oscar's been making ukuleles since the 1920s.
But not this much variety, you know?
No, never this much variety. I now have 48 different models, so that the line has expanded dramatically. So Oscar presents itself as a very affordable instrument, a very resonant instrument, lifetime warranty. We just want to have fun, don't we?
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So anything else you want to say to the ukulele underground audience?
Again, thank you for all viewing. This guy, he's really something special. What he does for the community is great. This year, please email me at my email is T, F as in Frank, ERRONE at usmusiccorp.com. And be happy to answer any of your emails and get back to you with all and any questions. And of course, aloha and thanks for watching.
Right on. So where can we find Oscar Schmidt?
At www.oscarschmidt.com.
Right on. So check them out, guys. Oscar Schmidt, thank you so much, Tom.
Oh, always my pleasure.
Please check them out. Oscar Schmidt. Aloha.